Let's get it. Let's go, folks. Can you believe it? Another, pretty good week for us. There's a couple L's we took that, frankly, I shouldn't have taken. It was my bad. Does bring us to it, an overall. We were 10-6 on the week again. Overall, put us at 41-23. So pretty good there. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty good for us, I will say. What stuck out that kind of annoyed me? Well, I who cares about Bills Dolphins? I even said in the video it's super hard to start 4-0. It really is. So, but they couldn't do it. You know what? They couldn't do it. Then obviously the Ravens Browns, I actually think, Deshaun Watson plays. I don't have a doubt in my mind that the Browns do win it, but unfortunately Deshaun was not good to go, so I didn't change my pick in time. I would have, but it's all right. I'll still take the L on that one. The Steelers are the worst team in football. And the Rams are a lot better than people thought. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And the Bucks are for real. And then lastly, the Bengals right here, maybe the worst team in all of football. So they might be the worst actually. Good grief. Joe Burrow looks like an absolute pile of garbage this year. So yeah, not too bad. I'm pretty happy being 41-23 to start the year. That's a great thing to start off of. And you know what? Haven't any bye weeks just yet until this freaking week. We have bye weeks coming up. So here we have that nice Week 5 schedule pulled up. NFL Week 5. Hope you're happy. I know I am. Start off with an absolute piece of trash game. The Bears against the Commanders. Now it is very difficult to start 0-5. Again, we just think about it, law of averages. It's tough to really just lose unless you're trying to lose. As an NFL caliber team, you should be able to beat any given team on any given Sunday / Thursday, I suppose. But even with me saying that, I'm still gonna go with the Commanders here. Okay, the Bears have looked horrific. They just have no defense at all. The Commanders have given up an average of 35 points over the last 2 games, though. Has to be noted. On supposedly what's supposed to be a pretty good defense, but look, it's I will not be picking the Bears. I learned my lesson. I won't be picking them until they actually prove me wrong and win. Okay, I just don't see it happening here, unfortunately. So, I mean, again, the Commanders almost beat the Eagles, but let's be honest with one another here. I say it. I'll say it until the day I die. Divisional games are way different than this. They're just way different. Divisional games are played way different. You can have a terrible team that plays really well in the division. I always think about, old school back in the day. Used to be a St. Louis Rams fan. Look, that's a team that could just play really well against the division despite being pretty bad. Obviously, we're talking about a few years before they moved when they were intentionally taking because Stan Kroenke eats corn the long way. But yeah, anyways. Then we've got another London game. The Jags have an advantage here. Not only are they fantastic in London, but they're staying in London the entire time because they just played last week in London. That gives them a big advantage here. But I just can't pick against these Bills just yet. I am not going to be shocked, if perchance the Jags do pull one off. And I think it would just because the locale of it being in London and they just play well in London. I don't know. And then the Bills obviously be a little jet lagged from a fresh flight. I don't know why the Jags get every London game. I don't know what is in the contract that makes that happen, but hey, there you go. We get Texans-Falcons. Actually should be a pretty interesting one. I think the Falcons are a little more doo-doo than people expected. I think there was definitely a decent amount of hype for the Falcons, and they've looked terrible. Desmond Ritter's an absolute terrible quarterback. And you know who's not been a terrible quarterback so far? A little guy named C.J. Stroud, okay? Guy's been playing very, very well. At some point, the hot streak's got to end, you'd think. But he's been playing really well. Looks great connection here with Tank Dell, obviously, and Nico Collins has been performing better than I would have thought. Robert Woods has been very consistent. Boring player, he always is, but the Falcons haven't shown me anything besides Bijan Robinson that really intrigues me. Um, Ritter can't pass. He's just not good. Can't read NFL defenses in my eyes. I've never seen him do anything that's remotely in relation to reading. And he underthrows receivers all the time. He just can't pass. I mean, he's just not a good quarterback for throwing the ball. Sorry, not sorry. Anyways, let's move on to the 0-4 Panthers against the Lions. I don't know. I mean, look, I shouldn't say I don't know, but it's something. This is one of those games like Detroit at home. This is a game they would lose just because they're just cursed. They're a cursed franchise. The Panthers haven't shown me any, spark of life really. Just being honest with you, I just haven't seen anything good from them yet to start the year. Offensive line, maybe the worst. Maybe the worst in football. I mean, there's a lot of really bad ones, but they're really bad. I don't like him here at all. I don't. The Lions are the way better team, but in the NFL, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win. So, Titans, Colts. And this is one of those divisional games that gets me a little scared. I hate to see this one. And you want to know why? Well, historically, the Colts play pretty well against the Titans in these divisional games, but they're always hard-fought battles. Now, the Titans have looked really bad this year. They're 2-2, which is shocking. The Colts, I think, have looked pretty good. I think they've been pretty darn good. I don't know. That's just my opinion of it, but Richardson's dynamic. I'm going to go with the Colts here. I'm just going to give them the at-home advantage here. Not sponsored by At Home the Corporation, I should say. But talking about the fact that they are the team playing at home. All right, then we got what should be an absolute stinker, Giants-Dolphins. I mean, I don't need to talk much into this one. We're just going to pick the Dolphins. I think you have to pick the Dolphins here. If you don't, you've lost your mind. If the Giants pull off an upset of 12 points against the spread, good for them. If they can somehow win outright, that'd be great for them. I just don't see it happening. Saints, I wonder what the payout would be on that too. It'd be probably pretty crazy if you picked them to win outright, and they did. Anyways, Saints, Patriots. Patriots have looked dookie. Saints have looked dookie. This is a Duke Bowl here, a Duke Bowl. I am going to give it to the Patriots at Foxborough. That's not a great circle. You failed. Such as Bill Belichick has failed the Patriots this year. Mac Jones, not impressive, incredibly unimpressive. The offense has looked decent. I can't lie to you. The offense hasn't looked bad. Just picked up J.C. Jackson on the defensive side, brought him back to play for New England, which will help bolster the defense. Saints defense has been their only really part of decency. They do have Alvin Kamara coming back though, which will be noteworthy. But I got to give it the Patriots here just because it's the Patriots. I don't know. Hard to root against, or hard to pick against them. It's definitely easy to root against them, but it's hard to pick against them at home. At this one, just against a not great team. By the way, if there is a coach, no coach can seem to figure out that when Taysom Hill is at the quarterback position, that he's going to be running the ball. Bill Belichick is the kind of guy that will figure that out, believe it or not. He's got a brain cell. Unlike 90% of defensive coordinators in the league, Bill Belichick will go to his defensive coordinator and say, Taysom Hill is not going to throw the ball because he sucks at throwing the ball. He's terrible at it. He's not a quarterback. So they're going to try to stop it, actually. Unlike every other team, which lets him run for 5 yards guaranteed untouched because they don't seem to think that he's running the ball. I don't know. Anyways, we go Ravens, Steelers. Come on now. Give me the Ravens here. They're incredibly hurt. The Steelers are a piece of garbage. Terrible offense. Now, this one, though, again, it's divisional. It's a very scary game, and I'm not shocked if the Steelers win it because Mike Tomlin seems to win these divisional games. It's what he does, even with a terrible team. Kenny Pickett might not play, though. It might be Mitch Trubisky time, and that's going to be terrible for him. I'll just tell you that right now. So, then we get Bengals, Cardinals. I gotta do it. I gotta pick the Bengals again. They've only let me down this year. They suck so bad. They're terrible. Why are they so bad? They gotta turn around at some point. Against the Cardinals is a great time to do it because you're not facing a great defense, that's for sure. You're facing a pretty bad, horrific defense. The offense is decent, actually, though. They've actually been way better than people would have thought, especially better than I would have thought. So, uh, Eagles, Rams, not gonna be going crazy here, but I'm gonna pick the no nonsense pick. I get it. Some people may say that's lame of me, but I gotta go the Eagles. Incredibly hard to start the 4-0. Incredibly even harder to start 5-0. So for that reason, I think there is a decent chance that the Rams win this game. I just want to be honest with you. The Eagles have yet to impress me in their 4 wins. I'm just being 100% real. You gave up 35 to Washington. You gave 35 to the Commanders. They're a really bad. They're just a bad football team. Okay. I've seen nothing impressive from them. I don't know. They just seem like slightly fraudulent 4-0 right now. But yeah. Anyways, I'm glad that we finally go back to having 4 games in the 3 o'clock window. Like, why did it not happen before? I just don't get it. Jets Broncos. Look at me. I'm picking the Jets away. Look at me doing it. And you want to know why? They showed great flashes last week against Kansas City. Now they were at home, but the Broncos are dookie. I think the Jets defense is going to make Russell Wilson throw up any danger which that he's consumed prior to the game. He's going to be throwing up with how much running he's going to have to do to try to get away from this defensive front. I'm going Jets here. And hopefully Zach Wilson can keep up his momentum. Chiefs, Vikings. This is a prime example of a game that the Vikings win. It just is. Something about them. This is what they do. They play up to the competition. They play well when it comes to having good competition. Now the Chiefs, not overly impressive either. But just for reality's sake, I have to pick the Chiefs, unfortunately. No. Oh, what do I want to do here? I should have thought about this beforehand. We're coming back to it. It's just always a smart play to pick the Chiefs, right? They just seem to win the games. I'm doing it. I'm freaking doing it. I don't want to. I don't want to. Just put it on record. I don't want to, but I'm doing it. Cowboys, Niners. Hard to start 5-0, like I said, but these 49ers are legit. Probably the most complete and legit team in the NFL. I feel good about them here. Cowboys. I don't know what to expect from them anymore. Defense is really solid, apparently. Not against Arizona though. They just played down with the competition. That's just the Mike McCarthy way. I dealt with him in Green Bay forever, and he does that consistently. He sucks. Anyways, speaking of, we've got Packers Raiders on Monday Night Football. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm going to watch it on ESPN Deportes, and I'm doing it. I'm taking the Packers here. There's some bias there. Let's just be real. That's what I got for you. Hope you have a great one, ladies and gents.